Good morning. My name is Robert McKelly, and I am the Director of Sales and Guest Experience for Unconventional Diner. Unconventional Diner has been around for 5 years and has been serving as a source of community and comfort for both residents and visitors of DC. During the pandemic, when many businesses were struggling, the Streeteries were and continue to be an absolute lifeline to our business's survival, ensuring jobs for more than 100 people. With the implementation of more bike lanes, DC is moving towards the future of transportation and showing the city's cyclists that we value their safety. We would like to thank the Mayor's office and the District Department of Transportation for collaborating with the businesses and owners to make sure that cyclists are safe while streeteries are thriving. And now I would like to introduce Mayor Bowser.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Robert, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. Today, we are here to celebrate some exciting transportation news that have been in the works. And now we get to celebrate with our DDOT team, members of the public who have been working with us over the years, as well as our vendor partners who are helping to make this possible. Today, we celebrate the brand new 9th Street Northwest Protected Bike Lane and nearly 700 next generation e-bikes that are being introduced to the Capital Bike Share program, including here on 9th Street. So some might say it's been a long road getting to the 9th Street Protected Bike Lane, but now we can see that it was well worth the wait. At 1.5 miles long, it connects some of the densest neighborhoods near U Street to our downtown at Pennsylvania Avenue and onward to the National Mall. It represents how far we've come in our transportation network. When I took office, for example, in 2015, there were 63 miles of bike lanes and fewer than 6 miles of protected bike lanes. Now, we have 108 miles of bike lanes and more than 30 miles of protected bike lanes. I want to acknowledge the hard work of our DDOT team, members of the council. I know we're joined today by Council Member Charles Allen and members of our advocacy community, including the Washington Area Bicyclist Association. So the 9th Street Protected Bike Lane also includes 2 new Capital Bike Share stations integrated with its design. We're not only adding new stations, though, we're adding almost 700 next-gen e-bikes to the Capital Bike Share program. We know that this brings the number of total e-bikes in DC to more than 1,000. And DDOT plans to continue increasing the number of e-bikes until we get to 2,500. So getting more people downtown, you've heard me say, continues to be our top priority, and this new bike lane and the new e-bikes make it much easier for many more people. So now I want to introduce a partner to us and a big supporter of our e-bike program from the U.S. Department of Transportation. He's the Senior Advisor for Research and Technology, Ben Levine.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and great to be here with everyone. And I bring warm regards from Secretary Buttigieg.
Yes, indeed.
I just am pleased to be here on behalf of the Department of Transportation. I think this project, both Capital Bike Share, the protected bike lane, and the new fleet of e-bikes represent a lot of what we're working on at DOT, and whether we're thinking about our priorities related to safety behind this beautiful backdrop of the bike lane, or whether we're talking about climate responsibilities and the idea of bringing electrified transportation and and traditional bike share transportation to the residents of the District of Columbia and the region, whether we're talking about equity, a system that reaches communities across the district and provides different forms of transportation to the residents, and whether we're talking about economic strength and the connection between the vitality of DC's downtown and the restaurant community, and how bike share and transportation can sort of bring additional strength to those communities. And then finally, we think a lot about transformation and how both our transportation systems and our public space can really be transformed, whether it's through the use of technology or new projects or programs like Capital Bike Share. So we really appreciate the opportunity to participate, and it's such a wonderful community supporting this work. And thank you to Mayor Bowser and the council members, and again, just really enthusiastic about this work. So next I'll introduce Councilmember Charles Allen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, to DDOT, Capital Bike Share, and Lyft for putting this together, and really a great partnership. Let's give that another round of applause. Capital Bike Share is really one of our best transportation equity policies in not just DC, but in the whole region. There's more than 360 stations in the district that are near our job centers, near our transit hubs, just like where we're standing here today. And there's more coming all the time. I think we're going to be up to around 400 stations by the end of the year. I also want to note for folks that the Cabby for All program, it helps ensure that most residents in the region can access this great transportation option regardless of their income level. We held a hearing last week actually talking about expanded e-bike options. Councilmember Pinto and I had both introduced legislation on this. And that same day I actually got a chance to ride down this lane. It was fantastic. It was a great ride to get from the Shawn neighborhood right down to the Wilson building very quickly, very safely. And I'll tell you, as a customer of the Unconventional Diner, I really loved actually, as a patron, I'd love having those bikes go by me, not the car traffic. So it was really a great way to find that, support our streeteries, and also make sure we have these types of protected bike lanes. But we know that e-bikes can be a viable transportation option for residents to live their lives, whether it's going to work, running errands, getting the kids to soccer practice, just opening up our options to move around. And as we move forward with initiatives like this, in addition to the e-bike fleet we're celebrating today, it shows us what's possible when we invest in our residents and in our businesses and our transportation to get around the city without needing a car for every single trip. So I think our e-bikes and the Cabby fleet are helping more district residents on their own get used to e-bikes, help people get around our city. It also reduces traffic congestion for those who do need to drive, and it moves us towards our climate change goals. So I'm very excited about this and the celebration of our 9th Street bike lane. It is just a phenomenal pairing of this on the first day of spring. I got to tour the bike myself a little bit, 60-mile range. I can't wait to hop on one of these and get around our city, as I know a lot of other residents are as well. So Mayor Bowser, congratulations on this big announcement. And am I introducing Director Lott, or do you want to do that? All right, I'm going to turn it back to the mayor to introduce the DDOT director. Thank you.
Councilmember, I really wanted to get back up because I didn't see the Ward 3 Councilmember, Councilmember Fruman, who has joined us as well. So welcome, Councilmember Fruman. And you all know our team at DDOT, who's working on a lot of innovative projects all over the city to make sure that we are connecting people to jobs, to family, and making sure we're doing it in a way that is safe and reliable and convenient and cost effective. So with that, I want to introduce our DDOT Director, Everett Lott.
Good morning, everyone. Let me first start by saying thank you to Mayor Bowser for her leadership and her vision. And let me also make sure I thank the DDOT team, who I see represented here and around this place right now. So again, DDOT, thank you very much for all your hard work in getting this done. You know, it always feels great to work for a mayor that genuinely champions safety, innovation, and projects that include cycling. And as we all know, cycling is becoming increasingly more and more popular as a mode of transportation across the district and also across the country for many good reasons. Cycling is cost effective, it's environmentally friendly, and a healthy way to get around the city. So I want to salute the mayor's leadership as Washington, D.C. is quickly becoming one of the nation's most bicycle-friendly cities throughout the country. I also want to recognize our Ward 2 Councilmember Brooke Pinto and our Transportation Committee Chair, Councilmember Charles Allen. Their support and also their advocacy are crucial to how we shape our transportation network. So as we celebrate this newly constructed protected bike lane, I must recognize that cycling can also be dangerous, especially when cyclists are forced to share the roads with cars, with buses, and with trucks. So this is why it is important that we create protected bike lanes that will make cycling safe. Protected bike lanes provide a dedicated space for cyclists so they can ride, separate from motor vehicular traffic by physical barriers such as curbs, planters, or bollards. This means that cyclists are less likely to be involved in accidents and injuries, and they can feel safer and also more confident while riding. So creating a connected and protected bikeway network is a top priority for us at DDOT and is also an essential part of providing a variety of mobility options to the district. In 2022, DDOT constructed 5.5 miles of protected bikeways and 2.5 miles of standard bikeways to achieve our ambitious 20 by 22 pledge. So I want to take a moment to thank our active transportation branch, as they have been a big part of ensuring that we make these projects a reality. The projects that imagine how safety as the #1 priority. So in 2 years, we have been able to improve safety for all roadway users by building 20 miles of protected bikeways. And these bikeways were constructed on routes that significantly contribute to the overall connectivity of the network, including this 9th Street cycle track, the 15th Street cycle track, and also the Virginia Avenue Northwest cycle track. There are currently over 108 miles of bikeways in the district, with over 30 of those miles being protected. So I also wanted to thank our Traffic Engineering Safety Division. Their work is based on the principle that great project ideas are done right, that every infrastructure project taken by our planners is also an opportunity to improve safety. So as cities continue to grow and evolve, it's important that we prioritize our infrastructure, and that makes getting around the city safer and more accessible for everyone. So before I close, I want to thank our federal partners, and also want to thank our Capital Bike Share partners. Their continued support in both programs and funding allows Washington, D.C.'s transportation network to continue to grow and continue to thrive. So together we are working to make Washington, D.C. a model city for safe multimodal transportation network. Mary, would you like me to introduce? Yes. All right. So if I may, let me now introduce Dominique Trebone. Dominique Trebone is the General Manager of Capital Bike Share and Lyft. I want to bring him up to the stage and say thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Lott. My name is Dominic Trebone. I am the General Manager for Capital Bike Share at Lyft. It is a pleasure to be here. This is a really great moment for Capital Bike Share and the entire DC metro region. We are thrilled to be bringing 700 of these new next-generation e-bikes to the district and 150 more to Arlington and Fairfax counties for a total of 850 new bikes. This will more than double the number of e-bikes in the Capital Bike Share system. We'll be rolling them out. Yes, it's very exciting. So we're rolling them out over the next month. They should all be on the ground by May. Enjoy them throughout the cherry blossom season. We are super proud of this bike. It is a fun, smooth ride. It has a longer range, a really zippy motor for getting up those hills up in Ward 3, much longer battery life, and it is built from the ground up to serve people of all sizes. And it's full of new safety features, including bright lights and retroreflective paint for better visibility all times of day. Really would love to thank Mayor Bowser. She has been a really strong supporter of CABI, and without her partnership, this would not be possible. She's been truly embracing sustainable transportation and becoming America's next bike mayor. Also, a big thanks to Director Lott, Anna, Aaron, and Greg from DDOT's CABI team, who have worked through all the details to make this finally happen. This public partnership really makes CABI the strong system that it is, connecting riders wherever they are with sustainable, climate-friendly transportation. So I cannot wait to keep working with this team and this district and the rest of the jurisdictions to make CABI better than ever. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Dominic, and thanks to all of the team members who are going to be getting those bikes in motion, and I can assure you they work on the hills in all 8 wards. So I think what we're going to do next, that they're going to be a group that try the bikes out. Is that right? But before they do that, I'll take on-topic questions. We're going to then send our team to try the bikes out, and then I'll take off-topic questions. Anything on topic? On topic. I've never tried an electric bike. I do ride bikes, and I may try one.
Right now?
I could ride away right now. I could, Tom.
You may want to.
I feel like you may be riding behind me. So I'll stay here for now.
Okay.
Tess.
Yeah, Mayor Bowser, there was a recent report that the city might not be doing enough when it comes to Vision Zero, that there's more that needs to be done. What do you think is something that you guys could put in place, or what isn't the city getting right when it comes to Vision Zero?
I think when we talk about traffic safety, I think we are all committed to doing more and to being smart about how we make those investments. I look forward to talking more about the investments that the city will continue to make. I've already mentioned how we have almost doubled the number of protected bike lanes and bike lanes just in a fairly short period of time. But there are many considerations we have when it comes to making the streets safer for people who are riding their bikes, walking, using transit, and driving, or being a passenger in a vehicle. There's work to do, for sure. Yes.
Mayor, I've heard, for example, I've heard that, for example, on 17th Street, you've got the bike lanes, you got streeteries, you got all this. What about streeteries and bike lanes? I mean, are these streeteries going away at some point so that you have more room for bike lanes?
Well, we have to do a lot of things with our public space. And so you call out, and I've said long ago, by the time I became mayor, there were no easy bike lanes to be built. They all involved trade-offs. And so that's why even, the work that DDOT has to do is more difficult, and it can take longer to make sure that we're getting the designs right and the trade-offs right and the safety right above all. So we have some considerations to make about how our streeteries continue to operate in the district, and we'll have more to say about that in the coming months. Yes.
Mayor, one of the biggest streets in the city is the Connecticut Avenue corridor. As you know, there's been a lot of support for, but a lot of opposition to the changes coming to that bike lane situation. What is your position? Some people are saying you might be backing off all the bike lanes.
I think that I've heard from a lot of people, as you say, pro and con, people who live along the corridor, people who lurk around the corridor. And again, as I mentioned, getting the design right and the trade-offs right are going to be important to make that work. And that's what we are focused on right now. Okay. Yes.
Honorable Mayor, the question that I have, is on education. What's going on with this petition that I hear that's going around, whereas we're fighting for back payment for DCPS teachers, but apparently they're saying that public charter school teachers have not been included, and there's a petition going around. And I'm just trying to see how true that is and what we're going to do, because with all the struggles, we are working diligently to improve and innovate our education
So I got
system.
your question. I wanted to stay on topic about the bikes, but I'll take this one off. We are working very hard to implement the contract that we made with the Washington Teachers Union, and to make investments for teacher pay for all of our public school teachers, including public charter schools. So again, we'll have more to say about that in the coming days. All right, thank you, everybody. I'm not going to do the bike ride, but I'm going to send it off, and then I'll come back. I'll be here. Okay.